Welcome to USAFBL Fingerboard Podcast. I'm your host, Levine Cunningham, and I'm excited to be chatting with Lawrence of Antidote Fingerboards. Lawrence, also known as Antidote Fingerboards on Instagram. Lawrence, thanks for coming to the podcast. How are you?
Hello, Levine. I'm chilling. I'm really happy to be here to get this opportunity to talk about fingerboarding, skateboarding, have some fun.
Definitely. So you are across the pond. You're located where, Belgium?
Yep, yeah, in Belgium.
Right on. Well, I'm excited to get you on the podcast. For those that don't know who you are, I'm going to probably say you're one of the more premier deck makers coming out of Belgium for sure.
Thank you very much. That's a pleasure to hear. Yeah, I've been making fingerboards for a really, really long time, but recently, I think I started Antidote 4 years ago. So that's when I really started doing it like on a more professional level because certain situations happened in my life and it was like, okay, now is a good time to do it right. I think I started making fingerboards. I don't really know the year, but it was definitely before the first Black River trucks were released. So it's quite a while back. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm having fun with it. Yeah, it's cool to see people all over the world and enjoying the thing that I make. It's still like a little bit small scale, but I get messages from people all over the world, meeting a lot of new people, and I mean, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. So yeah.
Definitely. And you're hitting us up with some European trivia there. I'm not even sure when the actual first set of Black River trucks was released. So if you know this, like definitely drop it in the comments. But that's a weird benchmark date to use. I like
Yeah,
it.
I don't even know the date myself, but it's I can still remember the day. Like a friend of mine who I met at school, and I always was skateboarding with him, fingerboarding, and he came to school with like I don't know, like the really old iPhone, maybe iPhone 3 or something like that. So way back, it was like, "Yo, dude, check this out! These trucks." I was like, "What? These are like miniature independents. What is this?" And I think the first ones they didn't even have like the lock nuts yet. So you really need to put like super glue because yeah, just with like the tech decks, the nuts could fly off and everything. And I
Those are
think the
definitely the early days right there.
yeah, and
Yeah,
the base plates were also like a little bit more narrow and they could start like cracking at the spots where the bolts go in like after quite some time. And then when they dropped the second version, they made the base plate like a little bit wider so that problem couldn't happen anymore, and they also added like the lock nut system and everything. So yeah, quite an evolution.
skateboarding probably came first before fingerboarding, correct?
Well, it's like a kind of mixed bag. Like
Okay.
I think I came in contact with a fingerboard before I came in contact with like a skateboard. I can remember it was like way back on Sundays. Me and my parents and my sister, we always like visited my grandparents, and my nephew was there, and he was like skateboarding, and that's why I'm not really sure if I saw him skateboard first or have a fingerboard. So he was there also visiting my grandparents, and he had like a tag deck. I was like, yo, what's this? This looks cool. But I mean, it was like the really, really early days. So it was just like, yeah, I don't know what to do with it, but it looked fun. I mean, you're a kid. So if you see something new, you're like, whoo, what's this fancy thing? And I remember that that was like the first encounter. And then when I think it was when I was 13 year olds or something like that. At school, a lot of people were having tag decks and everything. And that was when I got my first actually fingerboard, which was a tag deck from Blind. And I think 1 year later, there was like once a year a certain event at my school with like people showing off their hobbies and everything. And there were also like a lot of people skateboarding, and I saw one guy do a 360 flip, and I was like, "Yo, that's sick! I want to know how to do that, and I want to learn it." And that's when I started skateboarding. And after that, I discovered that you could also do tricks with a fingerboard because of a friend of mine that I met at school, Timothy, a really good friend. He's also part of the Antidote team to this date. Don't see him that often, but he's still one of my homies, and he actually helped me started Antidote. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's the same guy that was like, "Yo, check these trucks, the Black River stuff and everything." And the new Berlin Woods that came out with the new shape when it was really redefined to look more like a real skateboard.
That's awesome to have lifelong friends like that. Like, it's
Yep.
very rare to, at least here in the United States, like, it's really rare to still be close friends with your childhood friends here. I think mainly because we like to move around a little bit, but to still have like, lifelong friends like that in your life, that's amazing.
Yeah, man, I hear that quite a lot. It's like I have like different friend groups, like the guys that I go skate with, and they kind of overlap with the guys that I fingerboard with. Like certain people, yeah, they just overlap, and then I have like the friend group from my hometown, and almost everyone from that friend group is like we've known each other for I don't know, when we were just like little kids and playing on the streets or something like that. I mean, we go way back, and I still see them like on a weekly or maybe monthly basis. So yeah, that's super stoked. And also the Antidote team, we come together like once a week. Well, not everyone is able to be there every week, but I mean, it's yeah, heartwarming. Have such a close community and friends. So really, really grateful for that.
No, definitely. I feel, wait, so almost your entire team is local?
Yeah, that's a thing. I only try to support Belgium fingerboarders because I don't know. I think there are like a lot of brands everywhere, and supporting team riders that I don't really have like a personal connection with, or uh, it doesn't make sense for me. And I think every country, well, maybe not every country, but most of the countries probably have some kind of fingerboard brand. And I don't know. In my head, it's like better to support the people you know and have like a close family and keeping that scene alive. That's my kind of approach.
No, I
If that
absolutely
makes
love
sense.
that. I respect that. I think that having a team that's local and everybody's able to meet up, hang out, share ideas, share that passion, creativity, like there's a very special like bond or connection that happens there whenever you have like-minded people that love what's going on, like all in
Yep,
one place.
definitely, definitely. I mean, and for me as the company owner, it also keeps me going because like in the starting years of Antidote, I didn't really have like a team. So it was just like me and my friend Timothy from school. I was like doing some stuff, making some boards, selling them at some local skate shops. And then it was like the dream, like, yo, imagine if maybe they would be sold at AC Berlin or something like that. And then one day that happened, which I'm still super grateful for that happened. Big shout out to TKY and the whole crew in ASI Berlin. But like once I hit that, like I don't know, that benchmark, I was like, okay, now what's next? Was like, yeah, I don't know. And then I was like, dude, why don't I have a team? And then we started. There were some events in Belgium. Started to meet a lot of fingerboarders, and then yeah, there were some guys that like popped up. I was like, yo, those are actually really good. Like one of them, the ones that you met also at Fast Fingers, Jona, who also
Mhm.
entered the combo of the year. Casper, yeah, I mean the whole team, they're just yeah, it's a family. That's also the reason if you go on the website and you go to the like who's in the team, it doesn't say team, but it says the Antidote family because it I don't know, it's a family for me, and they keep me going, they support me, I support them. It's yeah, it's a family.
No, I love it. Let's backtrack a little bit. And so we launched the Ramon Angelo episode last week, and we talked about skateboarding tourism, which kind of blew my mind because, I've been running the podcast for a very, very long time and like no one's talked about that. And so like I kind of want to talk about like the skate scene. Is there like any like famous spots, any like go-to like places where a lot of the locals are like just hitting those street spots? Like talk about the skate scene a little bit.
Well, there are like a lot of definitely a lot of good spots in Belgium, but they are really, really sketchy and crusty most of the times. So
I
like
feel like
the
people like that though.
it's if you can do certain tricks on certain spots, it's gnarly. It's really gnarly. Because like most of the times the runaway isn't super perfect, or I mean, yeah, a lot of sketchy spots, but like past years we've been getting like more and more new skate parks. So that's definitely positive. I think l- a lot of that comes from the Olympics, maybe, so that it's more seen as a sport, so that a lot of cities invest more into into good skate parks. So that's a really good thing. Most of the times I go to the city Ghent, to the skate park, and there's always yeah, not always the same people, but I mean, if you go there once a week, you start to know all the people and making a lot of friends. So that's I'll be there most of the time, like on Sundays when the weather is good, probably also on Saturday, or yeah, whenever I can go, I'm there. And yeah, we have definitely have a lot of cool skate spots. I think also in Brussels. I've been there a couple of weeks ago to film with Jelle de Scout, who's a team rider for Antidote also. Um, to film some street tricks. Was really crazy. Yeah, those guys, they can really skate good. I'm not that good. I'm more of a chillin' flat ground skater kind of guy, but I mean, I'm having fun, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely. That's all that was all that matters for sure. I'm actually considering getting back into skateboarding. I don't know how I feel about taking injuries, but it's thoughts been kind of crossing my mind. I'm getting up there in age, but like I feel like, it looks a lot of fun, but I feel like I don't know if my body can take that.
I mean, yeah, you can try it. Why not? Even if it's like cruising around a little bit, popping an ollie here and there, maybe some manuals. You don't need to do the most craziest tricks. It's like if you're just having fun. I mean, that's the best thing, because I also started like skateboarding again, like well, not really recently, but like when the pandemic started, the corona, which is like, I don't know how long ago, 4 or 5 years, maybe something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, damn, time flies.
I know, right?
I was like, damn, it's already that long ago. And before that, yeah, I quitted it skateboarding for like, I don't know, maybe 6 to 7 years, because I rolled my ankle pretty bad, and it was like my flick foot, so I couldn't do kick flips and anything. I was like, oh man, don't really want to learn switch and stuff like that. And I just started working my first real job, and I was like, okay, maybe this is a chapter in my life that's, I mean, finished, because I don't want to risk my job. So I decided to lay down skateboarding. Um, and then several years later, I was like, damn man, I miss this too much. And I was still having, my ankle still hurt. It was like really stiff and everything. And I started doing exercises and everything. And got back on the board, started skating again. And was like, the first couple of months was like I could do flip tricks maybe one day in the week. And then my foot was, yeah, it hurted like hell. So I need to chill again, and one day a week turned into 2 days a week, turned into 3 days a week, and now I can basically skate again whenever I want. But
Nice.
yeah, it wasn't nice with the ankle, but I mean,
No, I
I got through
understand.
it. So And the mindset that I have right now is like the only thing why it was still hurting over the long period was because I wasn't exercising, I wasn't moving it. So if I had known that, maybe I wouldn't have lost as many years not skateboarding, but it is what it is. We
It
can't
is,
change that
yeah.
thing. So I'm really grateful that I can now still do some flip tricks and roll around, have fun.
So tell us about the, I wouldn't say local because, we're talking about Belgium as like a whole country, but like, does Belgium have like an actual fingerboarding scene, or is it primarily just you, or is there other people that are also involved, or?
It has, yeah, there are some people. I don't know if you have ever heard of stoned obstacles.
Hmm.
Yeah, the guy that makes the obstacle is Wannes. He's also in the Antidote team, so I see him quite a lot. So yeah, he makes some obstacles which are super amazing. And yeah, there are some skate shops that have like some fingerboard stuff and some parks standing around. There's an indoor skate park in Antwerpen, and they have like the indoor park in miniature for fingerboarding. So that's also super awesome. Sometimes there's an event over there. Um, there's one team rider of mine, Philippe. He also has like a not really a brand, but he's the guy that we go to every week to do like our weekly sessions, and he calls it Union sessions. And he's also planning on doing events in the future. So we're also working on that a little bit, yeah, a little bit together to make that happen. Yeah, mostly it's like other people organizing small events, but they're really cozy and fun. And most of the time there are a lot of people. Sometimes skate shops that organize like some events. The guy I talked about earlier, Jelle de Scout, who is also on the team, also really great fingerboarder, really great skateboarder, and he used to have a skate shop. Actually, he had like two, yeah, two tries on the skate shop. It was super long ago in a city called Bruges, where he had a skate shop, and he was, yeah, also into fingerboarding, so selling Black River stuff, the stoned obstacles. The Black River guys also came over to the store to sesh and do a contest, and for reasons he had to close down the shop. And a couple of years ago he reopened the skate shop, which the name was JD Skate Shop. And he also had like a super sick fingerboard park in the shop, and it was like kind of like a street skate spot. It was like a scenery that you have like houses on the side of the wall, and it was like, yeah, it was. I think if you look on the Instagram from Antidote, you will definitely find some clips from that park. But yeah, sadly things didn't really work out financially wise, and yeah, the shop needed to close like 1 year ago, and that was actually like kind of the fingerboard hotspot in Belgium for a lot of people. Yeah, so that was definitely a bummer when he needed to close the store. There's also some videos on YouTube on the Black River channel, I guess, from there in the store. They have like
Hmm.
a video when they came over to release like the Black River and Stoned Obstacles collab ramp. Was like a mani pad like at an angle with a grass gap, and it had like a concrete topping, and they also came with a kicker, but it was very limited. Don't know if you're familiar with
I don't
with
know
that
if
obstacle.
yeah, I'm not sure if I remember that or not. Maybe if I saw a
Yeah.
picture, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Yeah,
it's also on my Instagram, or there
I'll have
there
to
are
check that out too.
some
Yeah.
picture of that. Yeah, it's a super fun obstacle.
And anytime you can kind of mix, concrete with more modern shaped like obstacles and stuff, like I always
Yep,
find those to be really cool to skate and shred.
yep. I mean, concrete, it hits different
It
when
does, it
you're
does.
fingerboarding. It really hits different. Like recently, I have like the Black River playground, and like the wood started chipping up a little bit, And yeah, I just did a whole concrete job over it. So now I have like a fully concrete playground, and
That's
that's nice.
wild.
That's nice.
Yeah, that is nice. That makes me kind of want to buy one with the bank on one side and
Oh
maybe
yeah.
concrete it. And yeah, I feel like that would be really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I have like a really cool idea that I should maybe pitch Martin. I was like thinking, damn, they should like just sell separate parts for the for the playground.
Yeah, but the
Like,
shipping though for it would
yeah,
be,
yeah,
I
I mean,
can't see
yeah,
it
for us
surviving shipping. Yeah.
for us in Europe, it's like, yeah, it's super chill, but I mean, yeah, for the US, that's
I mean, I don't
damn.
want to throw the US under the bus, but I mean, like, we just throw packages around. Like, we don't, we literally do not care. Like, we're just like, if it gets there, it gets there. And so,
Yeet.
yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, if there was like a Black River concrete playground, like, it
Oh,
would
damn.
never make it to the States.
Damn. Yeah, I think the same thing happens here. They can be pretty brutal with packages, but
I know, sad face, but yeah,
yep,
I definitely wanted. That makes me literally want to go buy a playground and try that. 'Cause that seems like so much fun. Maybe
yep.
put like a rail at the end of the bank too, and do like a little hop to rail type deal.
Oh,
And
damn, yeah.
I
Yeah, that's
know
sick.
the juices are flowing now, and I'm like, man,
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, you can do a lot with it. Damn, down the rabbit hole.
I know I should. I'll have to tag Martin in this and be like, because they usually do the end of the year, the madness, release
Oh yeah,
madness and stuff. I'd be like, this is a
yep.
really easily, I wouldn't say easily, but it's definitely doable. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, definitely
But
make that a release madness type deal.
yeah, but I wasn't also thinking just about like maybe a concrete version, but like other parts that you could buy to make an other combination. Like uh, the playground is in two parts, right? So
Yeah.
it splits in the middle. So maybe like a part that you can buy separately, which is like in a corner, and then you can connect the other two parts to it. So you can put the playground maybe in the corner of your living room, and then you have a different layout.
Oh,
Or maybe
gotcha.
just if you want like the other end with just a bank, so that you can just buy that separately and just switch it around with the parts that you already have. That's, I don't know. That's maybe a cool thing.
Hmm. A lot of options. A lot of
Yeah,
options.
indeed. But maybe, I mean, they're working on so many stuff at Black River that isn't even released yet, or that they're just, maybe this isn't good enough, all the prototypes. So they're, I mean, yeah, who knows what they're coming up with.
I know it's kind of crazy when you look at all the stuff that they're doing between, Fast Fingers and all the team riders and all the
It's
pro decks and
insane.
obstacles. And I mean, they just launched that they're building a storefront, not building, but basically putting a storefront in the United States in
It's
Chicago. And
crazy.
so,
It's crazy.
yeah. And so it's just like, they're kind of like us, they're constantly just pushing the ball forward with all kinds of new stuff, innovative things, and just, keeping the fingerboarding scene alive.
Yeah, well, they basically have to. And they're also, yeah, I think they're still as passionate as in the beginning. I know a lot of people sometimes are like, Black River, I don't know. But I mean, I don't know, maybe some people sometimes also forget they really leave the big footprint in the fingerboard scene and started a lot of the things that we know today. And okay, yeah, maybe for some people it's expensive. It is expensive, but I mean, most of the I think nothing that they sell is made in China. So pay everyone that makes all the stuff, yeah, a lot more expensive than something that comes from China. I think that's the reason, but
Well,
support the local stuff.
the big thing for me is that when I met Denise and Martin at like Fast Fingers and like, all the Black River riders and like everybody was just as passionate. I feel like they're just as passionate today as they were 25 years ago whenever
Yep.
they started their company. And like I noticed with people just in life in general, it's like if you're doing something for a very long time, they lose that passion, they get bored of it, or like it becomes something that they just don't enjoy. And that is simply like not the case with them.
Nope, nope, nope.
Like we're all
They
super passionate about what we're doing, and then like you talk with them and they're equally as passionate as you are, and they've been doing it for literally 25 years. And I'm like, this is an amazing thing.
It's really wild. I think the secret is, yeah, keeping it fresh. Always look for I don't know, new stuff to release or a new event. I mean, yeah, just keep it interesting for yourself and then challenge yourself. I think that's also maybe a lesson that you can learn from fingerboarding and skateboarding. If you're like doing only kickflips all day and not challenging yourself, it's gonna get boring real fast.
I
Yeah,
get that.
gotta keep going. But then again, kickflips are pretty addictive, so you could basically do those all day. But yeah,
I've been
I
doing
think
them
you get
on
what
and
I
off
mean.
for 20 years, and like they still fascinate me because
Yep,
like there's a million ways to do a kickflip. And like when I
it's
started
crazy.
hosting events and doing these tournaments and game of skate and stuff like that, like there's literally like levels to a kickflip. Like there's
Yep,
just
yep.
and like
Like,
I've seen some top tier kickflips, and I'm like, I don't even know if my kickflip is even like a 6 or a 7 on the scale. And I've been doing it for a very long time. And
yeah,
so
man, I see what you mean. Like Chris Daniels, damn, his kickflips on a fingerboard,
yeah,
crazy. Damn.
buttery.
The way he tweaks them, and it's like, I don't know, almost like a late kickflip, but it's not really a late kickflip. It's just, I mean, perfect.
Yeah. So let's talk about Antidote from the beginning. So like let's
Oh,
talk
damn.
about where the name comes from.
That was actually, yeah, maybe a little bit of disappointing story, but also a pretty fun one. So I already talked about my friend Timothy that I met at school, who kind of got me more into fingerboarding. When I left school and started working, I kind of lost contact with him. There was this one day that he sent me a message and he was like, yo, there's this skate shop in Ghent, Curb skate shop, and they texted me if I still made fingerboards. And he was like, yo, sorry, that was a friend of mine. I'll text him if he still, yeah, makes those, this and that. So he contacted me. I was like, yeah, if I really want to, I can still make them. So we got together, checked everything out. At that time, I was also self-employed as a tattoo artist. Kind of had like the knowledge how to do everything financially. That everything is correct and yeah, stuff like that.
Well, this
The
explains where your graphics are coming from.
yeah,
Because when I look at your
yeah,
graphics, I'm just like, just it blows me away because I consider it to be original and true art, and it's very rare to see. And so most tattooists that I know, like they have that artistic, original, like creativity that just overflows. Like I can't explain it, but like you can definitely tell like the difference between someone who makes fingerboards who's a tattooist and someone who's not. Like it's night and day difference.
thanks, man. That really means a lot. Puts a smile on my face. It's
Definitely.
nice to hear. So that's also a way to express my creativity. The end of the line, tattooing didn't really work out for me. I got like kind of a burnout from having to draw every day, this and that. So I decided, okay, I'm going to quit this and fully focus on my other job and fingerboarding. We got together, me and Timothy. I was like, okay, how are we gonna do everything? And yeah, we figured like everything out with like where to get the veneer, how to dye them, how to get the metal molds and everything. And yeah, I also had like a lot of experience from making boards back in the day, so that also really helped. And then we were like, okay, yeah, we need like a proper name, because I had a name back in the day, but it was called the first name was a Replica Fingerboards, which is a brand right now, which is pretty funny. After that, I called it Kapow Fingerboards, and then I had like the long skateboarding break and got back into it together with Timothy, and then we were like, okay, how are we gonna call this? And we were like, just thinking and nothing came up, and I was like, okay, screw this, I'm gonna hit the magical interwebs and just like a name generator, hit in some keywords like skateboarding, fingerboarding. And I was scrolling down the list and suddenly I saw like Antidote, and it was like, ah! I was
Nice.
like, yo. And I looked at Timothy, I was like, dude, Antidote. I was like, yo, dude, that's sick, man. Fingerboarding is the antidote if you want to skateboard, but your leg is broken. And we were like, oh man, this is perfect. And then we started like the whole, yeah, the designs behind the branding behind the brand,
That's
like
awesome.
the potion bottle. So it kind of felt like a gift from heaven, but I mean, it was nice to see yeah, the name popped up, and I mean, like all the pieces just fit into place. It makes sense for who we are, because we love skateboarding when we're not able to skateboard because the weather outside is it's raining or whatever. We can still skate, but with a fingerboard. Yeah, it made a lot of sense.
No, I like it when things just kind of line up like that. And
Yeah.
especially when you like check Instagram and stuff and you're like, is anybody taking my name? Is it available? And
Yeah.
like you see that
That
it's actually available and you're like, oh my
yep.
goodness, like I need to
Yep.
create an account like right now
Yep,
and
yep.
take
That
that.
was the same thing that happened. It was like there's no way that there's not gonna be a company that is already taken this name, but it was available. One thing I noticed that is that there's like skateboard park building company, and they are called Antidote skate parks or concrete parks. I'm not sure, but
Hmm.
that also exists. But
It is very hard to like, especially if you were to like start up a brand today and try to come up with a name would be
it's really hard.
because there's so many brands that have kind of popped up, but there's also like finding the Instagram handles and stuff that are actually available. Like, I feel like everybody has taken everything.
Yeah, like for me, I also, yeah, we checked like Antidote official that was taken. I'm not even sure what it was. I think it was like a punk band or something that's called Antidote. So that was already
Oh,
taken,
yeah.
and then we were just like, okay, yeah, Antidote Fingerboards doesn't exist. Let's go with this one. Pretty funny how it just like fell out of the sky, but it makes sense.
It's crazy. Like Curbs, which is my personal brand. I mean, I had to do I did the same thing. I looked up
Yeah.
a name generator and I was just like, man, this is already taken. Oh, this is cool. Oh, it's already taken. And then I came across curb as like a street, like a skateboarding,
Yeah.
fingerboarding term. And I'm like, oh, a curb is taken. But I'm like, curbs with an ED. I'm like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
not taken. So I'm like, ooh, I am taking that.
That's
And
nice, man.
so being a concrete obstacle company and having a name like Curbs, I'm like, this is
Makes
on
sense.
point.
It
Yeah. And
makes
then everything
sense.
just kind of lined up. And so it's one of those things where like I had to hop on that like immediately.
Yep, yep. Yeah, if you have a good name and it's available, go for it, man. Don't
Because it
wait too
took
long.
me probably 2 weeks of just like thinking about it and looking up like ideas and like just to even find something that was actually available. And like the first thing that came up was this, and like the stars just kind of lined up because it
Yep,
wasn't even
yep.
like my first, it was literally my first and only option. And so like it just magically happened that I came up with something great.
I feel you, man. Yeah, it's like it's a really good feeling if that happens. It's kind of strange in some way, but it feels good. It's nice.
And now I just kind of take the shortcut version of it. So like United States, America Fingerboarding League, USAFBL, like instead of figuring out like combo of the year, I just put USFBL first and then what I want. And
Yep,
so
yeah.
I don't even try to like see if that's available. And so I like if I put USAFBL first, then I can literally put whatever project behind it and it's golden. It's good. I know that I have it.
Yeah, it's also nice what you're doing, man, with like the combo on of the year, and you're also gonna do some new stuff, right? Like
Yeah, we've
the
got line of the year.
line.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we've got combo of the year, which is live right now, by the way. So we are hosting we're looking for the best combo done on a fingerboard. So we're giving away $1,000 cash. We've got a slew of
Whew.
sponsors. We've got honorable mention sponsors that are giving away $50 in cash and prizes. And we've got just a lot of cool stuff there. We've also got another contest that runs simultaneously. It's called Line of the Year. So we're looking for the best line done on a fingerboard. And this is going to be more, geared towards the skateboarders of the scene that are looking for style over everything. So, and that one's going to be giving away $500 cash plus prizes. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. But you can check them out at USAFBL _ COTY for combo of the year. USAFBL LOTY for line of the year.
Super hyped. There's probably gonna be a lot of crazy, crazy tricks and lines out there.
Yeah, it's starting to get they're starting to start trickling in right now. For September, it's usually kind of a slower month because people are like, just hearing about it and they're like, oh, let me
Yeah,
start working on some stuff. And then usually about October-ish, like
they
the
start
flood,
hammering
yeah,
and
the
yeah,
flood comes in and it's like, okay,
the
cool. Like,
floodgates are open.
yeah, yeah. And so right now we've got some stuff that's definitely trickling in. We've got several submissions a day that are getting trickled in, but usually around October, like it's pretty intense.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, and probably to check like every video and like probably making a lot of notes from yo that trick and from that guy and ooh, this is maybe a little bit harder to judge it. I mean, whew,
Yeah,
that's a tough calls to make.
it's a process for sure. It's definitely a process, but I mean, anyone anywhere in the world can enter the contest and compete. So it's not just an American thing. Last year, combo of the year, we had I think Joe.na from Finland who won second or third or fourth. I can't remember. I should have put this in notes, but I guess not. But we also had like a Drively. I think he's from Spain. Drively FB from Spain. He was one of the finalists and stuff as well. And so they got hooked up with a lot of cash, a lot of prizes, things like that. So it's a pretty cool experience to be able to bless people from all over the world.
Yep, man, it's really insane. Like definitely for like cash prizes and fingerboard contests, it's like you don't see that often.
It's hard to put together, and I know why it
Yeah,
doesn't happen very
definitely,
often, but
definitely, definitely,
it takes
definitely. But it's sick that it happens, man. Really big
no,
respect.
definitely I appreciate that. All right, so when did Antidote start? Like how far back? I know
Oh
you've been around
man,
for quite some time. I
I
know it's
think.
before the Black River truck came out.
Well, that's when I started making fingerboards. Like the company started maybe only I don't know, no, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I mean, time really flies, and to be honest, I don't really pay a lot of attention. Like, how long am I doing this? I'm just having fun and yeah, just going with the flow. But I think it's something like yeah, 4 to 5 years or something like that. I mean, I should probably check what the first posts on Instagram is, and probably something like that is the yeah when we started it out. But it's yeah, it's kind of fresh. It's like 4 to 5 years, but we have a lot more experience in making fingerboards than just those 5 years.
Well, that's what you're basically kind of saying is you're talking about, going through several name changes. So I'm thinking like that probably goes further back to like 2008, 2010, somewhere even
Probably
that far back.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, probably. Yeah, way back. Like when I started making fingerboards, the first one was like yeah, probably how a lot of people did it, like just taking two tag decks and maybe shaping them a little bit with a lighter, then yeah, clamping them together with the veneers pressed in between. And then after that, I started making Bondo molds. I had like a little iron sheet, like the same width as I would cut my veneers, and I shaped that into the shape that I wanted, and then made a Bondo mold out of that and started yeah making my own shapes and stuff like that. And that was around the period that Berlin Wood released the first new school generation of fingerboards, like the shape that everyone knows and loves today. But I think I have my first finger. Oh yeah, it's right here. This is like one of the first one that I ever made. So it's just like, I mean,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah,
Low to medium kick, no concave. I love it.
yeah. I mean, if you
Super
if you
mellow.
compare it if you compare it to like the newer boards, like I ride a 32. I mean, you can see how
Oh,
slim it
gotcha.
is. It's like the really old school tech deck sizes. I mean, probably I don't know 20, 26,
26? Yeah.
29. Yeah, probably something like that. So it's like a toothpick.
It's weird too when I look back, like I used to be able to do tricks and stuff like that on those I still have my first fingerboard and like I set it up a couple weeks ago. Found some 26 millimeter trucks and
It's strange.
yeah, I don't know how. I'm like I mean I know how to like kickflip and stuff on that stuff, but it is hard. Like I don't
Yep.
I don't know how I was doing stuff on that. And I feel, I mean, that's all I knew. So I guess I just adapted to it. But like,
Yep.
I mean, it took me a good 15 minutes of trying to get back into the flow of using that. And it was rough.
Yeah, for me the funny thing is it's like the boards getting wider is like a trend that happened in skateboarding as well as in fingerboarding. Like when I started skateboarding back in the day, most of the guys were riding like 7.5 or a 7.7. If you're riding that nowadays, people are gonna be like, "Yo, you're crazy, man. What's this?" So like now the standard is like an 8 or 8.2, maybe 8.5. And I think the same thing is, yeah, the same thing happened with fingerboarding, because I can still remember the first time that the Black River team did a tour in Europe. The only thing that was released was like the 29 trucks and the 29 boards. We were like, yeah, fingerboarding and chilling with the Black River team, and we were like looking at their fingerboards, and we're like, hey, those look wider. What's this? And we checked it out, and it was like 32 millimeters, and we were like, what's this? I mean, yeah, we talked to them, and they were like, yo, this is going to be released in, I don't know, couple of months, maybe next year or something like that. But they were testing the new size, and we were like mind blown. We were like, yo, this is crazy. And then the same thing happened with the 34 millimeter trucks and decks. So it was like, yo, this is insane. And I think I've rode it like 34 for a really long time. And now 1 year ago I switched back to 32, just for the reason because I thought the 32 looked more realistic in proportion to a real skateboard. So I was like, I'm just gonna switch for that reason. And it was also kind of weird to like go back to a smaller sized board, but once you get used to it, I mean, it works. But I don't know if I could go smaller than a 32. Maybe
I think
29 would
32 is
be.
as small as
It's
I
a
would like to
yeah.
go. I
I
was
feel it's a
riding a
sweet spot.
36 for a very long time and then moved back down to a 34 so I can help me learn, nollie and switch tricks better with the
Yep.
rotations and stuff. And I've looked at some 32s. They feel good, but I'm like, I'm kind of scared that I'm gonna enjoy riding a 32. And I think that like freaks me out.
I had the same problem, and well, once I started using the 32, I was like, it looks a little bit nicer, and in some way, I don't know, it's like more satisfaction when you land the trick because you have
That's
like
what it
less space
is.
to, I mean,
Yeah. You gotta
yeah,
really like, it's gotta be real precise. Like, I
yep,
feel like the
yep,
wider the board, the more room for error. And
yeah,
so,
and maybe yeah, that a wider board is maybe a little bit easier for doing like for pop shove-its or maybe big spins or whatever. But yeah, I tried out like 30, 36 also, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit too wide of a board. I do enjoy it for transition,
mhm.
but just street type skateboarding or yeah, fingerboarding. I don't know. It's a bit too wide for me, but
No, I
I mean,
understand that. It depends on people's fingers and stuff. I have really fat fingers, so like I need all the space I can
I
get. So
mean, whatever works. You do you.
I know.
But it would
So
be
what is
boring if everybody did like the same thing. So
well, that's what makes it exciting and fun and trying things out and just kind of just experimenting with what's out there. So what is your daily setup? What's that look like?
So yeah, definitely an antidote deck. I use the low shape um, in 32 Black River trucks. I have some. I can't remember South soft bushings. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, those
I was gonna
the
ask like
South
what
soft.
bushing
Yeah,
companies
yeah,
your guys are using because I know
yeah.
we've got a
The
few American companies, but I'm like, who are the Europeans using?
Yeah, I use the South Softs and Level Up.
Okay.
Those are yeah, I really enjoyed those. And the wheels that I'm using are like the Ramon prototype wheels with the
Oh, okay.
Holzkopf. So really good wheel. Like I used to be urethane fanatic, only using urethane wheels. I was like really, really specific in what kind of wheel that I really liked. Like maple wheels were like the golden standard for me
Hmm.
because I don't know, they felt like a real skateboard wheel. And when you're like doing the, I don't know, nose blunts, doesn't matter on what kind of obstacle, you always had like the power slide
Hmm.
sound. And I mean, yeah, skateboarding ASMR, I mean, I couldn't go without it. And yeah, they asked me to try this wheel out, and I can't go back to urethane now. So even they squeak a little bit. I would like to have some more squeak, but they just perform so well that I can't go back to urethane. So that's how good of a wheel this thing is. So once they're going to be released, definitely try them out, because it's a super super good wheel. One of the best that I've tried, and I've tried a lot of wheel brands. Maybe a little bit too much, but yeah, it's a really good wheel.
Well, we launched his episode a week before this one. So he actually talks about those wheels in that
Yep.
podcast, and he's talking about launching these. I don't know when they're going to be launched. He wouldn't let me know. I'm not sure if he actually knows, to be honest, but
Yeah,
I've
I'm not
got
sure.
another friend who has tried those wheels out, and they say the same exact thing, like these wheels
It's
are game changers, and
it's insane.
I'm excited for these to come out. I definitely know that I'm not even usually like a huge fan of just like, being one of the first people to get a new product dropped and stuff, but like having those kind of like stories and people literally like talking on a good game, especially people I know, respect, and been fingerboarding for a long time. If they say like, "Hey, like these are it," like
It's
that those are
legit.
it. Yeah, yeah. And
I
so I'm not
mean,
trying to hype these wheels up on the podcast, but I'm just saying
but
like if I'm gonna go out and like try to
just
get a first
a
drop,
little bit.
like I'm just gonna say like I'm
Go
kind of
for it.
excited for
Go
these.
for
Yeah.
it, man. They're crazy. For being a prototype wheel, there are like other brands on the market that maybe don't even come close to this quality. Maybe big statement to make, but I'm gonna make it. It's that good. Like how long ago is it? Like a month ago, we went to ASI Berlin to enter the King of Berlin street
Oh, right on.
contest. Um, and I was riding these wheels for, I don't know, already a month or so. And I saw Ramon there, and I was like, "Yo, do you still have some wheels that you sell?" And I bought another set because I was scared that the wheels on the setup that I was going to use on street spots, that they were going to be completely garbage after the contest. No way, they survived the battle. I mean, you don't even almost don't see a scratch on them. And if they're
That's
like
crazy.
a little bit of damaged, and you start riding on wood, on a wood surface again, they just smooth out again. So it's, I don't know what magic sauce they put into these wheels, but it's a damn good one.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm stoked for these for sure. I know
You
that
should be,
anybody
man.
who's been kind of paying attention to what's been going on over there with those, like, I know they're stoked for them as well. So
Yes.
if someone was wanting, so like, for instance, I don't think I've actually purchased a deck from you. If I was like a first time deck purchase, from you, like, explain the product. Like, if I was to buy a deck, like what shapes, what molds, like kind of tell me, what's going on between all the goods that you
Um,
have.
so I have two different shapes, the classic shape and the low shape. Um, so the classic shape, bit of a, well, not really a strange one, but it's like maybe a little bit steeper kicks and concave than like a Berlin wood, just a little bit. And the angle of the nose and the tail, they're actually the same, but the length of the nose is slightly longer than the tail, like in a real skateboard. But I designed that one with the thought in mind to make like a twin tail, or maybe a twin. It's like not really a twin tail, because I think a twin tail would be too short and a twin nose would be too long. So maybe something in the middle. So I'm still working on that. But it's just like, I don't know, an overall good entry setup. Maybe it's not too steep, it's not too low, easy to learn tricks with. So if you're like a kind of beginner fingerboarding, I would recommend the classic shape. And 32 or 34 millimeters, I mean, yeah, that it depends. I think yeah, you have to try it. I mean, I think there's no right or wrong which one to pick. I mean, we started out using 26, so you can definitely start out with using a 32 if you want to try something wider down the line. Maybe pick a 34. So yeah, that's a choice that I wouldn't recommend something particular. And then we have the low shape, also available in 32 and 34. It's hard to explain, but I prefer this one because it's maybe a little bit easier to do tech tricks with this shape. The thought about it is because the kicks are lower, it takes less force for the tail to hit the ground, but your tricks are also going to be a little bit lower. But you can always, yeah, if you want to do them higher, you can do them higher, but I feel it will be more like controlled in a certain kind of way. But
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, there's like a learning curve to understand the board in a different way. And it's like, for me, I got the idea from skateboarding. Back when I was a kid, I always used like steep kicks and deep concave because I was like, yeah, it pops really well because when you pop, the angle of the deck goes like really steep, so it makes it easier to do your ollies and everything. But once I got a little bit older and kept skateboarding, I was like, damn, every time popping, I'm putting that much pressure for the board to pop and hit the ground. I don't know, it was really exhausting for every time you pop to put that kind of pressure in. So I tried out like a more flat shape. It was harder to do your tricks higher, but it was still possible because if you understand the physics of how to do an ollie, you can basically, yeah, jump how you want, how high you want to. But it doesn't take that much force to pop the tail to the ground every trick that you do because of the angle of the tail. I hope it makes sense what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It seems like
Um,
it's more of a mellow
yeah,
mold.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, the tail is just gonna hit faster on a mellow board, so it makes it a little bit easier to do tricks and less exhausting. Well, on a skateboard, and I copied that idea to a fingerboard shape. It's like the skateboarding brain and coming over to the fingerboard brain sometimes, like, yo, maybe try this. And
Can people buy those boards? I know you can buy them on your website, but do you have like any distributors that, also sell your boards?
yeah, so on our website, they're like, I only ship inside Europe because the shipping costs are like, I mean, they're crazy. But they're also available in ASI Berlin. They're available at Black River. They're also available at Cams 618 skate
Okay.
shop.
Yeah.
And I'm also talking now with Vito from Six Skates. So it's not 100% confirmed, but probably in the future they will be also available over there. So there are some options for the United States to get them there, and also from Curious.
Your
Yeah, they're
boards.
also
Yeah.
available on Curious. So yeah, sometimes I even encourage people to buy them from skate shops or fingerboard shops, like especially from ASI, because this isn't my main job, and I really appreciate it if like people want to support me, but I'm kind of doing this for fun. And okay, if I earn a little bit of extra cash for the cookie jar, that's nice, but please go support your local skate shop and fingerboard shop, whatever it takes. Even if you have to spend like maybe the one extra dollar, it can maybe save a skate shop or a fingerboard store to stay open. And those are like the center points of the community, and they're so important.
I couldn't
And
agree
yeah,
with you more on that for sure. Because I've
because yeah,
seen so many shops come and go, including my shop. I had a shop as well for a year and a half, and
yep.
it's a struggle. And so when I see, places like ASA Berlin struggling, things like that. Like whatever you guys can do to help keep these places open, it's going to be detrimental to keeping, the scene and the local scene especially alive.
Yep, it is. It is. So I really wanted to, I don't know, maybe emphasize that a little bit. Like, please, please, it's so, so important. And I know it's like for some people, it's like, yeah, really, really expensive. And maybe like, yeah, if I buy it online or from, I don't know, whatever other website, I can get it for maybe like $2 or something like that cheaper. Yeah, yeah, I get it. It's expensive, but having those local shops and that you can physically go to and hang out, meet new people, make new friends is so, so important. Maybe more important than saving €2 on something that you buy.
No, I agree.
That's my
I
thoughts. I
agree.
mean, everybody does his own thing, of course, and I'm not gonna judge if you want to save a couple of bucks on a purchase. But I mean, if you have like had like your own shop or a local skate shop that you've seen close because they've struggled so much because people buy everything online, yeah, it's a sad thing to see.
No, understand. And then also, I'm gonna find ASI Berlin's. It's like a GoFundMe Patreon
Yeah,
account, basically. So I'm gonna put that in
yep,
the description for you guys as well. So for anybody that wants to support the store and keep it open, like I'll have that link there for you guys as well.
that's really nice because I think they can really use the support.
No, I
They can
agree.
really
They've
do.
been in the community going on like 14, 15 years since Black
I
River
mean,
opened the store. And so it's been here for a very long time.
they're legends, legendary. I also try to support them like when I need something from a fingerboard gear or something. I always ASI, okay, maybe sometimes it's a little bit more expensive, but I'm like, I don't care. I mean, if I can go on a vacation trip to ASI, I'm down. And it's super sick that you can go there and chill, meet people from all over the world. It would be really sad if that had to close down. So even sometimes when they're ordering decks from me, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna send some free decks over, and I mean, it's as a gift. So yeah, some extra cash for their cookie jar. It's maybe not much, but I mean, every little thing helps, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you've talked about your team riders. I know you almost have you talked about all of them? We've highlighted them as like as a whole.
I don't think I've highlighted them all. Oh, I hope I'm not gonna forget anyone. So first of all, there's Yona. He already knows it, but it's gonna be like a future release. It's gonna be the first real pro model from Antidote. So he's getting his own signature deck, which I'll be releasing very soon. And then there's Casper, who's called Clumsy Fingers on Instagram. Brick, but I don't know all the Instagram names on the top of my head. Jelle de Schaat, Wannes from Stoned Obstacles, Timothy, Lucas. Hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Maxime, Philippe. Philippe is also the guy that is organizing like the sessions every week that we can go at his place, and yeah, he has a lot of cool fingerboard parks. Um, yeah, I think I had everyone. Think so.
Man, that's a
Yeah,
team. I like
yeah,
it.
it's a big family. So
Man, yeah, I'm stoked and everybody's local, so that's huge.
yep, it is. It is. Oh, there's one more guy on the team that I didn't mention. Zap. He only lives like, I don't know, with the bike five minutes from where I live, and I didn't know him for a really long time. And I was like, I don't know, I visited like a friend. He also came, but we didn't know each other. And I had like a fingerboard with me, and he was like, "Yo, you fingerboard? What?" He was like, "Yo, dude," and he was really good, like super clean switch heels and everything. I mean, he's crazy. I was like, dude, where have you been? I mean, like he's like living 5 minutes from my house, and I didn't even know the guy. But yeah, he's a really nice person also. So yeah,
That's a funny
it's nice.
story. I had a
Yeah.
similar story that happened to me a couple weeks ago because I got a little house and my USFBL trailers parked in the front yard and I was checking the mail and some guy like drove, I don't know, like he's circling the neighborhood looking for somebody delivering, I don't know, but like he's like United States Fingerboarding League? And it's like, are you the, oh my God, you're that
Oh,
guy. And I was like, yeah, I'm Levine. He's like, holy shit. And it's like
epic,
super excited and it's
epic.
like, you live here? And it's like, yeah. And he's like, dude, I live like 5 streets over. And I'm like, oh, snaps. And so like it like blew his mind. He's like, I knew you lived in Indianapolis somewhere. I just didn't know. And so like, yeah, he was
Oh
we
man.
had a moment.
Yeah, nice feeling also like, oh damn, that's cool.
I was like, man, it
Epic.
made my entire week. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. I can imagine. It's nice, man. Sick.
Man, all right. So you've probably been to a few fingerboarding events other than Fast Fingers. That's where I met you originally, was at
Yep, yep,
Fast
yep, yep,
Fingers.
yep.
But I mean, is that one of the, obviously that's going to be the largest event, but have you been to like other fingerboarding events as well?
I did a few. So a couple of events in the Netherlands. Then yeah, the local events in Belgium. I also went to the slow fingers at Black River. That
I
wasn't really
wanted to
like
go to
a
that so
yeah.
bad.
It was really nice, and the vibe was like, yeah, it was super chill because there was no contest, so everyone was just like vibing, and I don't know, it was really nice.
It looks like a European version of Rendezvous, which
I
is
It probably is.
Rendezvous is held by Mike Snyder
Yep,
Flatface, and there's no competitions, no contests. It's just literally a bunch of people hanging out around like
yep,
40 parks. And
having fun.
yeah, hanging out, shooting the breeze, just
Yep, yep,
making
yep, yep.
edits, just cool times.
That's on my bucket list. Hopefully, I can maybe, I don't know, maybe not next year, but I hope in the future make a trip to the US and maybe
Well, you come
hit the
out here.
rendezvous.
Yeah, you come out here and go to Rendezvous, and I'm gonna go out there and go to Slow Fingers.
Oh yeah, that would be sick.
And then we'll report
Uh,
back to each other and talk about our
yeah,
experience.
that would be so dope. Oh yeah, the King of Berlin. That was like super sick. We did it the 1 year ago, and like this the last edition, which was in August. So
We'll
that was
talk about that. So
oh man.
I kind of created a version of it here in the States, but like
Oh
I don't think I've actually like talked to someone who was actually in it that really kind of like explained like what it was, their experiences with it. Like as an American, like we see the end video result,
yeah.
but we don't understand like the process. Like what does that whole process look like?
So the starting point, if you enter the contest, is at the ASI store. They explain everything a little bit, so it's kind of like the fingerboarding equivalent of Treasure King of the Road, spread over 2 days. So it started at like, I don't know, 5 p.m. or something like that, and you had until the next day 6 p.m. I'm not really sure if the times are correct, but yeah, you get the
Yeah,
picture.
generalization. Yeah.
So you had like maybe 24 or a little bit more hours to complete as many challenges that are in the booklet that you get when you enter the contest. And there are like, I mean, there are like trick challenges, like go to a certain spot. On that spot is like a trick bounty, like do frontside tail slide hard flip out, something like that. And then also on that spot is maybe film a best trick, and then you get extra points if you win the best trick, like between all the different teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
um and yeah, there are also like challenges. I mean, I don't know, like the most shittiest haircut or get a tattoo. Um, I mean, like, yeah, just funny things that you, yeah. I mean, you can choose if you want to do those. You can also skip them, but it was, yeah, it's really hard to do like everything in the book because there are a lot of things that are maybe a little bit time consuming. So if you do the contest, it's like not a lot of sleep. But we kind of skipped it, and well, we didn't really skip it. We did a lot of challenges, but we opt to have a good night's sleep in between. It's different. Takes you out of your comfort zone and try tricks that you maybe would never think of trying, or yeah, it's really nice.
It just gets everybody just kind of out and fingerboarding and
Yep,
just being more social and stuff about it. It's what I love about those challenge type, you know, contests and things like that. We do a version of it called King of the Plies. We do that in April of every year, and
nice.
I know you guys are doing. They do that once a year. And then King of Prague now is starting to get on the
Yep,
action as
yep,
well.
yep,
So
yep, yep.
there's a lot
That's
of cool stuff happening, and I feel like it needs to be happening more places. Well, I think this is a great time to do our Listen to Win contest. So we've got a 34 by 98 millimeter deck here from yours truly, Antidote Fingerboards here. I actually got this as a gift from you personally at the Fast Fingers event.
indeed, indeed.
So I got to meet you personally, and you're like, hey, like, you're the Antidote guy, right? He's like, yes, you have the Antidote shirt. And I was like, I'm putting two and two together. And you're like, yeah, but I've been following your brand for a while. And he's like, dude, you want to try a deck out? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, we should get you on the podcast. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. And so I've been holding on to this now for about 3 months, and I'm excited to give this away to one lucky listener or viewer. We got to tell them the challenge.
Okay, so the challenge is the gnarliest 360 flip, nose manual, nollie backside flip out.
Are we
Go
going to do
start
this
shooting those
as
clips.
who did it first? Or are we looking at that as who did it the
Mm,
best?
or
You want to
yeah, maybe first. Yeah, I don't know. What would you recommend?
do you want to judge it? I mean, we can judge it.
Yeah,
If you
we
want to
can
judge it,
judge
we can do
it.
the best.
Yeah, yeah, we can judge it. I'm down.
All right, so we're looking for the best 360 flip to nose manny nollie backside flip out. This isn't going to be who did it first, it's going to be who did it the best. This contest will start audio version on Wednesday morning, get the video version Thursday morning. This contest will end 5 p.m. Eastern Friday. I also think that is so it'll be 11 p.m. Eastern or 11 p.m. your time.
Maybe some bonus points if you do it on an outdoor spot.
Some bonus points if you do it on an outdoor spot, or if you take your mani pad outside, we'll count that as well.
Maybe, yeah.
All right. So, do you have any upcoming projects or anything you want to leak on the podcast?
Um, the only thing that I really have planned right now is one new graphic that I'm going to release, which is the pro model for Yona. Um, and yeah, it's something that's gonna be happening local. Is like an event that's happening, but it's gonna be in Belgium. So if there are any fingerboarders that are watching from Belgium, you'll probably see that hit on Instagram once everything is ready. Um, but else we're just going with the flow and yeah, chilling. Because I also want to do some new stuff, but I'm currently in like a kind of a job switch in my personal life, so it's a little bit hard to combine everything at the moment. But once everything is in place, we're probably gonna start working on some new graphics and stuff. So it's about time to get some new babies out.
Okay. Okay. You have any hobbies besides fingerboarding and skateboarding that people might not know?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. The one is drawing, which is probably obvious, but I also enjoy like I don't have yeah, playing some games on the computer or on the PlayStation. I'm also a big Marvel nerd, so I really enjoying watching the movies from the MCU and all the series. So yeah, that's pretty much it actually.
Right on. Same. That's Yeah, the Marvel universe, that goes deep over here.
Let's start a new podcast.
Oh man. Well, I'm sure you've got a list of shout outs and people you want to recognize.
Oh man, do you have like an extra hour or something like that? Yeah, first of all, biggest shout out to you, man. This was like super nice experience what you're doing with all the podcasts and getting people from all over the world sharing their fingerboard and skateboarding stories is like, yeah, it's just wow. So really big ups and thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
um yeah, shout out to all the team riders, all the customers who supported me throughout the years. Definitely big shout out to TKY from ASI Berlin, because he was the actually the first big fingerboard name that started distributing my brand. So really grateful for that. Also Pascal from the ASI team. Yeah, actually everyone from the ASI team. Everyone at Black River. Jelle de Scott from JD Skate Shop, also a team rider, but he supported me forever. So yeah, that's also a big shout out. Joyride Street Skate Shop, also from Belgium, Wildstyle Skate Shop. Uh, Shout out to Curious Fingerboards. I mean, Cams, Six Skates. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone, but like, yeah, just in general, everyone who's supporting uh, the brand Antidote, and yeah, just spreading the vibe. Can't thank you guys enough for keeping the dream alive. It yeah, really puts a smile on my face. So
No, definitely. That's a good list of shout outs right there.
yep, yeah.
I get
Try to keep it a bit compact by just shouting out to everyone a little bit, but yeah, that's
Well, no, I got a few shout outs as well. First off, if you made it this far, definitely finger the like button, definitely subscribe, definitely help support the channel for sure. Also, if you're watching this before anybody else, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're subscribed to our Patreon channel, getting early access to this episode. Also, I've got a few shout outs as well. We've got combo of the year right now in full effects. We're giving out $1,000 cash and prizes. Line of the year is also in full effect as well, giving out $500 cash and prizes as well. We've also got a couple sanction events going on. I think by the time this episode launches, we should have the Wilmington, North Carolina sanction event happening this weekend. And then we've also got Toronto, Ontario sanction event happening November 9th at Six Gates. So Wilmington, North Carolina, October 5th. Six Gates event happening November 9th. So definitely follow all the information and stuff like that. You can find it at USAFBL.com. And Lawrence, where can people find you on the internet? You got any social media handles, any places?
yeah, they can find me on Instagram, so Antidote Fingerboards. We also have a YouTube channel, which is also Antidote Fingerboards. So yeah, 1 week ago we uploaded the new video from the
For
trip
King or Berlin?
we did with the team from King of Berlin. So we had a lot of fun, put a lot of time into the edit. So definitely check it out. Hope you guys like it. So yeah,
Definitely. And then I'll make it super easy for everybody. I'll have those links in the description for you as well. So go
yeah,
check those out. Well, Lawrence, thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure.
yeah, man. Same thing. Really enjoyed it. Big pleasure. Thank you for having me. And yeah, peace, love, and skateboarding, man.
Peace, love, and skateboarding. Till next time.
Yeah, man.